Gonna get Max to just hold this for a second for me. And get the 48 in. Set it. They're bloody awesome. So much quicker around this outside edge. Doing a full couple of laps right around. And compared to the MZ, obviously the MZ isn't a full-blown commercial. It's not going to be as quick anyway. But I'm sure this is at least 10 kilometres an hour faster. It's huge. Running up and down here. Got to be careful in the ruts. It will deviate a lot easier than the zero turn I've found. A bit more sensitive just because it is hand controls, and a quick adjustment will change in direction pretty quickly. So you got to be careful, but at the same time, hang on, have fun. You can't wipe that smile off your face. But it's leaving. I'm going full pace. I can't push them handles any further forward, and it's cutting. You can see what it's cutting. Anyone that says there's this mower, all the reviews online, they're testing it in slashing territory. No mower's going to perform well at that. When you've got real world scenarios like this, and I'm not saying that slashing isn't real world, I'm just saying that this, when you're regularly here, this is what you're going to be dealing with. This is fortnightly difference. Still fairly long, very long, but on acreages, this is what you're going to expect. But this is the finished quality that you're going to expect also. And that's buffalo up here, buffalo turf, with a bit of kike in amongst it, a lot of broadleaf. And that's the thing, this broadleaf that's folded flat, there's only a couple of strands left over on this side here that I've noticed, and that's not hard if I had to quickly come back through with Max there with Snippy, you can just quickly get rid of those ones for me. And it's a cricket pitch. Down there, it's just flat. I can't believe it. Up on this hill, with that'll be another test. I'll try and get some footage of that today. I wasn't planning on doing this video, I never really do. I haven't even got my microphone in. I just wanted to get this, it's a memory for me to look back on at the turning point of the business again. It's another, I just was on it and I just felt like calling the dealer. He's not even open yet. I felt like calling him up and saying, order that 48. Because I could see what's going to happen. You got a 48 and a 54, and there's a 100, 102 inches or whatever it might work out to be. And that's huge. Two of us on that, one of us here snippering, maybe even two of us here snippering, like we could take on massive properties. And you don't actually need a bigger trailer or anything because you can just fit two of these on it. It's amazing. They've come up with a great idea here. Whoever come up with the standard first, I'm not sure which company it was. There's been plenty of other types of equipment that you stand on, of course, but as far as mowers go, everyone looks at you a bit funny. But I can already see it's going to pay dividends. Ground speed, clearance, visibility, turns, everything about it, hills, that list goes on. There's a couple of little things that I'll get into down the track the more we use this. One quick thing, to pull up the deck, you've got to pull on this lever. It's a fair hunk of a lever to pull up on. You're lifting pretty much the weight of the deck. Very easy to get it down, but to lift it up. So if you're about to hit something, usually on the zero turn, you can quickly put your foot on the foot pedal and raise that deck, and you avoid any mishap. This, if you're traveling that quick and then something jumps out at you, or you don't see it to the last second, a big stick or a rock, you can't lift that deck up very quickly. So you need to pull up quick, or you need to avoid it, which could throw you off the machine. So there's a couple of little considerations with that we're going to have to be careful. If you're in long ground that you haven't done before, especially, you obviously do your walk first, but that's a consideration with that. It does get caught under trees as well, low-hanging trees, and obviously you're standing on 6 foot something with these bloody boots on, so it you're underneath trees and you're hitting your head on transit and stuff, and you've got to get clamped right down. But at the same time, you can get this front deck up underneath that tree. Those trees out here, you get it right in and your head's back from the tree. So pluses and minuses once again, but all in all, a lot more positives coming out of this than negatives, which I'm grateful for, because like I said, I never test drove one. I've just done plenty of research over the years, seeing people are getting them, having fun using them, bit the bullet, just decided that that's the direction I'm going with the business. And Max, myself, We've got an apprentice traineeship, whatever we're getting going next year, plus another one that's a bit of a surprise. I'll leave that till next year. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'll just get Max to show this footage quickly. We'll get some hill footage, I'll get some footage of him. Have a great day. Thanks guys. Alright, I forgot to mention it's wet too. We just had rain last night, so there's another plus. I'll pass you over to Max. Yeah. Off he goes, he's away. There's a few massive tree roots through here, so just told him to keep a lookout. Again, the visibility on this thing is there's a bit damp there, he's just down. Yeah, the visibility, you just see it all a lot clearer. So I can't really hear the cicadas in the background, but it's very noisy here, so just took these earmuffs off and these ISUZU compared to having double protection. It oh, you notice it. So anyway, don't know why I'm talking about cicadas. Front one, half the time me and Max are in agreement. That was half the time compared to the MZ. 2.5 to 3 hours is what it normally would take us to do that. So it was about an hour and a half, and that was with stopping a couple of times, just getting a couple of photos and this video footage obviously. So going straight forward easily, hour and a half and under for this regular visit. So this back paddock, depending, like Max is learning obviously, so I'm guessing this is going to take him the 2 hours anyway, just as normal, because it's usually that 2 to 3 and then 2.5 maybe. And then we've got the hillside, which is another 2 up there. So that's that, oh, and we got around the house. How could I forget? So that's where we sort of get our 6 hours mowing from, and we'll know today how we go. Obviously there's going to be a couple of things that I want to go a bit slower on compared to normal, and once we know going forward, you go a lot harder, a lot quicker. I'll leave it at that, because there's going to be plenty of footage. I don't want to keep talking, and I'll see once he's going through, we'll see how straight he gets his lines over there. So just down the back paddock there, you can see him. See if we can get it. Not bad for a phone camera. Got the shakes happening. Lost him. It's through there. There he is. Anyway, talk to you in a minute. Toodaloo. Okie dokie. I was thinking I had plenty of time, but he's smashing out this back paddock. This thing Jet's moving. We are, let's see some footage here. I'll let this run through and then I'll have a little talk. He's keeping it fairly straight. He's getting to know it is touchy. But doing a good job, holding the hill, riding the bumps and terrain. That's just leaving it nice. There he goes, he's off. That's not bad for what it's cutting. That's looking good. So, productivity plus on that. Tick, tick, tick. We've got the inside still to go, we've got the hillside to go. I might get a little bit of footage of the hill, just because it's going to be funny looking. I'm going to be hanging on for dear life. I tested it on another little hill. I'll have some photos on Facebook and Instagram. Very, very steep, loose gravel, and it's still held. I can't complain. It's doing exactly what I was hoping it was going to be doing. And you feel better. You're back. You're not hearing, like, feeling that jarring. Even though it'd be comfier, you'd think, to sit on a property this size, we're finding, especially like if we had another one, we'd be done both these paddocks by now, you know. So that's huge. Let's get a little shot here. But it does, you got to hang on for that little, like when you give it a bit of a squirt to get going, it'll throw you back a bit if you're not clinging on. But anyway, that's good. We'll get up there, get some footage, and all in all, guys, I hope this is helping you make a decision if you've got an option to get at least one stander, and if you've got a trailer big enough for two, and you've got a couple blokes, it'll be a game changer for sure. Got hillsides here that's steep. I'm going to test it out when I get in there, around the pool area and up and around here. It's too good. Mulching kit will be a good test. It's leaving a nice clean cut at the moment. Mulching, going to probably have to go a little bit slower just to chop it up that bit more. But as long as we're here regularly, I know what that other thing did as a mulcher, so I can't see this doing any worse. It'll do better, and this is leaving a passable finish at the moment. It's not perfect, it's very long as you can see, but it's the acreages for a back paddock like this, more than passable. If you're doing this on a inside property, you'll be double cutting if not triple cutting, and that's where I think the mulching kit, that's where it's at. So anyway, thanks guys, bye bye. Okay, just really quickly guys, sorry, I have to put this in front of some other footage. Just I signed off on the last bit, and I've just come up with something to help out anyone that's new. Now, I watch a lot of YouTube, see a lot of things in America where they tend to go left. So if you're looking at this field, they'll tend, with their snippers, they start on that left side, and then they keep everything on their left shoulder. Whereas when you're on a ride-on and you're in long, thick grass, like what you're about to see on the flip side of this video, if you were going in that pattern, which is clockwise if I'm not mistaken, that's shooting all your debris back in the middle, right? Sounds very simple, and a lot of people know this. This will just go straight over their head. They know, all right, what are you talking about? Why are you saying this? Because I see it a lot. I see people use these machines and they're spitting all that debris into the middle of the pile where they've got to recut it, instead of spraying it out and going the opposite way, which would be anti-clockwise. So that thing is going around, and I start on the outside, go around, and it's just a square the whole way around, square, right? So as I'm going, shooting it out, shooting it out, shooting it out, getting further away from me. I'm not having to recut what I've already cut, therefore saving your blades. And especially, it's a good pattern for me, I find, even when I'm mulching, because it still flicks debris to that side of the deck. So when it's mulching, it's leaving a pile on that side, so then you're not having to recut that pile. But with a side shoot, it's even better for this type stuff. This was very tall. You can see what it was up there in the background there, right? We hacked down half of it with the brush cutter, used the mower for the rest, and now I'm going to let all this dry because it's very damp underneath from the rain. I'm going to mow this entire hillside, goes way down there, probably a good 100 meters, and by the time I get back up here, all this will be drier. I can hit it again, give it a final little once off because there's a few stragglers here. It was very damp and thick, but it shot it out beautifully. Now your first pass, when you're going into something like this, obviously you got to check it. But your first path, it's going to be shooting into the grass. You can't help that. You just got to do it, and then you come and do the opposite. So it works hard for one time around, and then you go. All right, so just really careful consideration there. Look after your equipment and be smart about it. Think about everything. It's a very simple trade, industry, whatever you want to say, but there's ways to be efficient, ways to be smart to make it worthwhile and enjoyable. Yeah, you don't want something like that. That's just, it's magnificent, the finished quality that this thing's leaving. I still can't believe it. But anyway, you know what I'm saying with everything there. Give it a little thumbs up if you like this video. Like and subscribe going into future episodes. There's so much coming. And I should have a bit more time up my sleeve next year with extra workers to get more footage for you guys, because I'll be training them, and everything I've got to train them with, I'm going to have to relearn again to train them. Therefore I'll think of it, tell you guys, and everyone can learn then, because a lot of it's just second nature now, and I find myself doing something and Max will go, oh, how do you do this here? And oh, sorry mate, like just certain situations and scenarios. If you haven't done it before, you wouldn't know. So we'll go along, follow along, and hopefully it makes it a bit better, a bit easier. For someone else looking to start their business, they can go in with a bit more confidence within themselves and the equipment they have. So knowing what you can do and its capabilities, you can see, it's amazing. Once you get going, very enjoyable. Cheers guys, let's roll on. Alrighty, gonna wrap the video up I think. I may speak a little bit more back of the ute just to put the microphone on. I just really want to see clarity difference. Just one more time. That's huge guys, that is massive. Brush cut down this section just before smoko. This was done the other week. This is the result you're going to get after one pass through it. 3.5 inches, not too shabby. Go back, go across that if you had to do it, if it was a manicured yard. This is perfectly fine. The heat will actually hurt this a bit more, keep it down a bit more for us. We've had plenty of rain, so there's not a lot we're going to do that's going to hurt grass that's this length, or was this length, the roots on them. If you've listened to me before, typically the root systems on any grass plant 3 times longer is what them roots are as to what's on top. 2-inch lawn, 3 times down. So that when you've got something like this, you can imagine how long them roots go. And they're usually long, like stringy, and they've done core samples and they've shown them. Just do a bit of research for your own pleasure. But it's amazing. So that's hence why I prefer a longer lawn. Not to say you can't have a short lawn with long root systems on it, or just as long, depending on the grass type of course. But anything out there, we're at 3 inches on that paddock. 3 3s are. You're right, so you've got 9 inches of root growth happening. That's plenty. By the time you have a 40-degree day, the temperatures at that depth aren't going to singe the very tips, right? So the top will lose a bit, but then they can draw back that moisture at night time. So as long as you're not getting 40-degree temperatures day in, day out for like a week, that'll come back and be greener for it, because a little bit of stress is good. Hence why I don't worry about the fertilisers, the liquid sprayers all the time. I just let my lawn do its thing. When it needs a little bit of something, it's typically a granular fertiliser. If it needs treatment from bugs, I spray it and I get on with it, or I just let the dogs dig it up, and out in the backyard they tend to get the bugs anyway. All the lawn grubs, lawn beetles, worms, bloody army grubs, everything. So anyway, side note, but when it's this long, you're getting that quality, you got that machine that holds the hills, I can't complain. I'm very happy. Going through it with the owners here as well, and the back paddock, front paddock, like we could have been done that if we had 2 of these units, even if the other one was only a 48, within 2 hours. That's huge. If you can get the scheme of the grand scheme and size of this paddock, go back a few episodes, you'll see the drone shot that I've got showing just how big this property is. And if we're doing them times compared to a full day, and then this was a regular lawn visit, a regular lawn client, you could do them sizes, 2 to 3 of them a day with 2 workers. Shout out to someone that said do the maths to one thing then deleted comments. Anyway, know who you are, keep going forward, don't let anyone stop you, because these are the results you're going to get, and the productivity goes through the roof. Stick to your guns, do your research, find out what's going to work for you. A standard may not work best in your business. Find out what does. Get the biggest you can, find out what like the best and most reliable brand is that's closest to you. Go with that. I'm Husqvarna biased, but the dealer's 2 minutes away. If there's a dealer maybe of Toro 2 minutes away, there'll be a bit of competition there because I do like Toro's gear. But at the same time, I don't hate this at all. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with it, does the job, puts a smile on your face just the same. So each to their own, find out what works, roll with it guys. Just keep enjoying life, keep doing your thing, and it'll keep coming, I promise you. Cheers, bye bye. Don't think that's going to play while I'm recording, but that's alright. Usually do a wrap up video in the car here when I get home. It's just been a marvellous day. Another major turning point for the business. Our workers that are joining us going forward, and Max obviously, who we currently have. Huge productivity from today. The owners come out and just the amount we got done, able to get that top hillside done as well, included. Everything all edged, everything brush cut. Usually it's do half one fortnight, the other half the next fortnight. So now this opens up an option for brush cutting further into some areas. Opens up the option for pruning. Just adds more value for your clients the more productive you are. So that's a major factor. Helps you first and foremost, especially when you're just doing residential lawns, just to get as many as you can get done in a day. And then that's the bread and butter of our business. Then you got acreages, so then you've got full days there. So by adding extra services, you keep them clients happy. You enjoy it because you feel like, all right, even if it's a hard day, hard slog, you know, it's only an hour now on that mower instead of 2 to 3 hours. It's massive. It's a huge difference. I can't emphasize enough. Just follow your heart with what you want to get out of this life, out of your business, out of whatever you want to achieve. Don't let anyone try and sway you. If you know that it is going to work, it is going to help your current situation, it's going to be well worth it. And going forward, you just keep developing it, you keep learning and coming up with new strategies to perfect that new system and that new business model and whatever it might be. With these extra workers coming on, where are you going to get the work? The work's there. There's so much work out there. You just got to go looking. And what our little methods that we use, we have very good results each and every time. And then now, speaking with Jaden out there, young worker that's coming on board, and he's got plenty of people out there always asking, older people, and that's the thing, we're in an aging population. We're going to have a lot of people that are going to require our services until we are the older ones, you know. It's the way it works. So you feel that service, feel that need, feel that niche, whatever it is, and away you go. Just enjoy it, have fun along the way, and you have your good days and your bad, but there's a lot more good these days, I'll tell you what. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Thanks for watching, and got the microphone on here inside the car. Let's see if the audio changes from when I was out in the field there. Alright, gotta go. Gotta say goodbye to Max. Cheers. Bye.